Hi, Flosstube. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble with my filters. This is BetsyKleger here, and I have a filter on and I can't turn it off, but I can tell you I am not a cat. Even though it's showing on the screen that I look like a cat. I don't know how to turn it off. Surprise! It's me! Okay, for those of you living under a rock, that was a reference to that really funny video of the lawyer in Texas who had a Zoom video settings on that showed that he was a kitty cat. Lisa of Kindred Stitcher just reminded me of that, so I had to pull that little prank. I know you were all fooled. If you haven't seen the video, Google it. It is Texas attorney cat Zoom hearing, and you'll find it. It's really, really funny. If you can't find it, send me a message on Instagram. I'm BetsyKleger on Instagram. Send me an email. I'm going to put my email address on this video. But welcome to Flosstube number 2. I'm back after only a little 7 days, 8 days, because I just wanted to say thank you. All the love that I've received, I'm busting with love and friendship that I just can't believe all the people that left me such kind comments. So I just had to come on and say thank you. Also, my husband's at the grocery store. So I put on my makeup, put in my hearing aids, and I came upstairs. The other thing I'm doing is I'm drinking Diet Coke, which you might think, what's the big deal, right? Diet Coke, you're an adult, you can drink Diet Coke. Here's a secret. I have kidney stones. And my doctor told me not to drink carbonated beverages. So I don't. When I have a kidney stone acting up, I won't drink it. But then I feel fine, and then I sneak a Diet Coke here and there while the husband's gone. Anyway, I am wearing a Beatles shirt. First of all, I just want to say, you are not going to see full body shots. Not because I'm ashamed of my body. I love my body. My body has been so good to me, well, with the exception of the kidney stones and my back. But other than that, my body, I'm pretty happy with it, right? But I'm not going to show off my big body shots because, you know, why do you need to see that? But today, I am showing you my shirt because it's the Beatles. The Beatles. And I got this shirt in Liverpool because I'm a Liverpudlian. No, I'm not. But we went to Liverpool on our 2018 UK trip extravaganza when I saw Hamilton in London. And I got this shirt. And this is for my friend Darcy Cameron. You all know him, you love him. He's that freak show on Flosstube. I'm just kidding. He's not a freak show. Darcy is hysterical. And he kind of freaks me out. And here's why. I will get to the stitching. Just bear with me. Darcy Cameron has a Flosstube channel and he's hysterical. But not only that, he is, I think we were separated at birth, 21 years apart. Although he has disparaged me and said that I'm immature, said that I have the maturity of a 12-year-old boy. But I don't want to piss him off. He has power. He brought Kyle, Stitching and Sound, back to Flosstube. How's that for power? So I'm only going to say kind things about Darcy. And he loves the Beatles. So I'm wearing this shirt for him. I'm also wearing it for my friend Kathy in New Jersey, who used to have a Flosstube named To Die House. And we need to bring her back because I'm wearing my Beatles shirt. It is Thursday, March 11th, 2021. So other than saying thank you to everybody for all your warm comments and love, which really buoyed or buoyed, lifted up my spirits. I wanted to give you some updates. In addition to the love, I have to say, you all are a very pushy bunch. I can't tell you the number of comments I saw that said, finish the damn cat sampler. I mean, really, is that rude or what? You all are so pushy. So the real question is, did I, BetsyKleger, finish this? By the way, I noticed on my first Flosstube video that I was up here and you could see my chin hair. So I plucked it, but I'm also not getting this close unless I want to show you something. And you couldn't see all of my projects. So for that, I apologize. So I'm going to be back here. And I will hold things up so you can see them. But this was the cat sampler that I started back. I went and looked at my record, and I started it March 2019, March 26, 2019. And all I had left to do was a little bit of the grass and the trees. And I didn't do this cat. Well, why don't I just show you? How about that? How about I just show you? I finished all of it. The trees, the cats. I hope you can see this. And as I said on my last video, the cats are all Hamilton. Hamilton is my cat, whose picture I was showing at the beginning. I love this. I'm going to frame it myself. I have done some framing that I'm going to show you later with my FFOs, but I'm going to frame this. I'm going to read the saying to you. Beth Twist of Heartstring Samplery. It's a quote from L.M. Montgomery, who wrote in her book, Emily's Quest, "A house isn't a home without the ineffable contentment of a cat with its tail folded about its feet. A cat gives mystery, charm, suggestion." Isn't that great? So that's what this says down here. I love it. Thank you, all of you, except for Colleen. Colleen, who has a Flosstube, Moon Pie Fry. She's actually pretty smart. She used reverse psychology and said, don't you dare finish it. So she's the one I really listened to. I'm like, I'll show you, Colleen. No, you all are such good sports. There were some people who are just so sweet. I'm sure it is so against your nature to say anything with a damn in it. Like, finish that damn sampler. And they'd write it and then put a smiley face. Please. I got a kick out of it. But thanks, everybody. You gave me the kick in the pants I needed to get this finished. And I am going to call upon you all in the future when I need to finish a project. Speaking of Hamilton, I want to put this over here. Okay, so the picture I showed last time and in the beginning of this video, the Duchess Hamilton, was a gift. But lest you think that that's where my love for my cat stops, I commissioned a painting of Hamilton soon after we got her from the shelter. And she is a shelter kitty, I have to say. I picked her out of all these beautiful cats. She went into a tunnel with a hole in the top and poked her head out. And I said, that's the one I want. She just had that personality that, I don't know, I was hooked. But I commissioned a painting. And I'm sorry, I'd have to look up and see. It was an Instagram ad of an artist, and it was like 90 bucks. But, you know, artists are worth it. So, isn't that cute? It really captures her. That's her look. I sent a few pictures to the artist, and it's like, Mom, what are you doing? What are you doing? That's what she's saying. I love it. I had it hanging in my office, but then when we started working from, there's something on my phone, like a There we go. When we started working remotely, I brought it home because I had to have it here. That's my Hamilton. As Julie, Kansas City girl in a Colorado world, says, I'm going to misquote her, we should all find someone who loves us as much as Betsy loves Hamilton. She's my kitty cat. I would do anything for her. Okay. So, since I saw you last, I did start and got, which is the stitch along that the needlework addict, those needlework addicts, that's us. Needlework attic in Phoenix. And got, doesn't look too glary. Okay, so I said, I recorded on March 3rd and I said I was going to start it that night. I lied. I lie a lot. And I started it actually on March 5th, which was a Friday. And I started it, I wanted to go on higher count because I'm using the Averiswa 103, which is the thinner silk. And I didn't like it on the 40 count. It really wasn't as full coverage as I wanted. Okay, so I have all this on a thread ring, and I made this. It's got a little bee for Betsy. I love making these. They're fun. It was an obsession. I like to make these rings for flosses that I can keep everything together. They're all the rage. You can find tutorials up the yin yang in YouTube for how to do these cabochons. They're cabochons. And you just put a picture and glue the glass on it. Anyway, I'm getting sidetracked. I started it March 5th on the 45 count. No, it is 46 count, antique white Zweigert. And I love it. I'm so glad I restarted it on this. And this is what I did. I basically stitched it all weekend. No. Okay, let's try this again, shall we? Can you see that? I love it. Oh, it's beautiful. It's absolutely beautiful. I don't know if that's going to focus. Maybe I have to hide my head. So yeah, I'm really enjoying this. And I do remember that I promised I would show you the super duper headgear equipment that I use on the 46 count and 40 count I can use just my regular magnifier, but 46 count, that's some super duper stitch in there. And as I said, you know, my husband, we like to watch TV at night, right? We're empty nesters. What else is there to do? We're not going to talk to each other. I mean, that's crazy. So we're in our cave watching TV, lights dimmed, and I need to see this fabric to stitch. So I'm going to show you my super duper headgear. I never thought I would show this in public, but I'm going to do it. That's how much you all mean to me. We're special friends. And I'm going to show you. You ready? Hello? I can't see you. Hello? Let me see. Oh, there's a light. I don't know if that's blinding you, so I'm going to turn it off. Oh, there you are. How do you like this? I think I'm going to make this my Instagram profile pic. And that way, all those guys with no followers who say, hey lady, you want to get together? You know all those guys that follow you on Instagram and they're like shirtless or have a stethoscope because they're doctors. How do you think they'd respond if I had this as my profile picture? Yeah. These really get my husband in the mood. But aside from looking like a total dork, They're phenomenal. They also, you can take these off and put a band on the back. That's really sexy, I'll tell you. But they come with the different magnifications. I just put in the strongest one, but you have little ones in here. And with the light, it doesn't blind the TV, so the hubster doesn't complain, except when I turn around and look at him, and he's blinded. But other than that, these are great. They were like 20 bucks. I don't know what they're called. It's an Instagram ad. I just said, yes, I want it. I think it came from China, but I think you could go on Amazon and look for something like this. And just Google magnification for needlepoint and you'll be able to find them. I'm sure a lot of you have already seen them, but highly recommend them. Highly recommend them for your needlepoint cross-stitching enjoyment. I'm not sponsored, by the way. All right, so let's put those over here. And what is next? That's my only new start that I had because it's only been a week. And like I said, I doubt I'm going to do these every week, but I just felt so much love that I wanted to come on here and gush. What can I say? Excuse me. Yeah, they're so fun. And the floss tubers I've discovered as a result of the love that I've been getting. It's incredible, incredible. All right, and you go down here. So what have I worked on besides and cat sampler? Those were the two main ones. But as I told you last time, this Hands Across the Sea sampler, Mary Clayton, is one that I really, really want to get finished. So I may come on here maybe in a month or so with a plea to push me over the edge to get this one finished. But here's the thing, okay? Our house is 23 years old. It's not like we built it, right? It's a semi-custom, you say, yeah, I'll take that model and give me that carpet and whatnot. But we were the first, we bought it first, right? So we have not done anything to this house except get a new roof and replace the windows, which we did recently. But we're planning to finish our basement, upgrade to hardwood floors, all kinds of stuff. So I want to get these projects done, but I'm not going to be hanging them until we get all of that done. And we're at the very, very beginning stages. Oh, we did replace carpet twice. Okay, I'm going to digress just a little bit here. And like Darcy said, I have the mentality of a 12-year-old. And I think that passing gas, also called farting, I wasn't allowed to say fart as a kid growing up, right? That was like the F word in my family. Couldn't say fart. Toot. You're tooting. Anyway, I just think farting and pooping are two of the most funniest things that you can, anything having to do with any of it is really funny. Okay, so maybe that's what Darcy was talking about. And my son is 30 now, and he's not going to watch this, so I'm going to talk about him. He'll never see it. When he was a baby, he had the densest poops, like starting from his very first poop that he squeezed out, turning all red as a baby. I'll never forget it. Ever since then, dense poops, like rocks. We went camping one time when he was 10, and he had this aversion to the latrine, so he pooped like on a hillside. And of course, I'm not going to leave my kids poop in the middle of a campground. I had to pick it up. I swear to you, it weighed 10 pounds when I picked it up. Like cleaning after your dog. I had to clean up after my son. Okay, this story is getting somewhere. When he was about 15, he was always clogging up the toilets ever since he started using the toilet. But at 15, he took such a huge dump in our toilet, it overflowed and flooded the whole first floor. We had to replace carpet everywhere. We told his future in-laws that story once at a dinner when we all got to know each other. So So it's famous in the Kleger household. But not only did he do it one time, about a year later, he did it again. Thank God the insurance company knew our son had huge turds, and I'm surprised they didn't write an exclusion in our policy after the second time to say, we will not cover when your son poops in the toilet. That's all I'm saying. But we're not, so we have replaced the carpet. All of that poop story to explain to you that we have replaced the carpet. But we're gonna do hardwood floors. And all of that was to explain to you why I want to finish this and get it framed, but I'm still not going to be hanging it for a while. Anyway, do you want to see my progress? If I seem to be shouting, my left hearing aid has been kind of wonky, and so I don't know if I can't really hear myself as well as I usually do, so I might have to adjust the volume when I edit this. Okay, so what I did on here, why did I want to say Harry? Mary Clayton, I finished the house stitching, and I wanted to start the roof, but I saw that there are these things sticking up. So, oh, I did the door. Yeah, I did the door. I only worked on this one day, and then I'm gonna do the roof. So that's what I did, and here's the whole thing, because I think last time you couldn't really see it. I love this. I think it's beautiful. Oh, excuse me. I am very gassy, especially when I drink Diet Coke. Okay. So that's Mary Clayton. Those are all my works in progress that I actually worked on this past week. What I thought I would do now is show you some of my works in progress that I didn't show you last time because they're kind of languishing and they're not back into a rotation yet, but I want to get them back into a rotation. This is actually one that I'm going to do for Stitch Asia. Stitch Asian is the hashtag, Abby Bella Stitches. So this is exactly the same as what I showed you last time. But I am going to work on this tonight, and I'm not lying. I'm going to work on this tonight. Darcy, how do you like my needle minder? I got lots of them. And this is by Lila Studio, who is an Asian designer. So, and this is the chart. So this is going into my active whip rotation starting tonight. And I'm using all the called for flosses on that. And that is going over here for tonight's project. Oh, I showed you that last time. That's Quaker's, a Quaker Welcome, which is also by Lila's Studio, and I am going to put that in my active rotation as well with the Stitch Asia hashtag. This is Quaker Pumpkins by Liz Matthews that I started in September, but I didn't want to kill myself to get it done by October or the fall. So I kind of put it down and it's been languishing. I'm probably going to start picking this up again. Let's see, this is March, probably in June, because I would like to have it by the fall, and maybe our house projects will be, or projects, oh, sorry, I showed some of the chart. Projects will be finished, but this is, a lot of people were doing this. It's gorgeous. But I'd like to have this. I'm actually going to keep it up all year. The thing with me in seasonal stitching is you do all that work, right? And then why take it down? Unless you have a lot of stitching to hang, which I know there are a lot of you out there that do, and you have choices. Some of us don't have. I'm going to try and edit that out. I saw that the chart just went in there. Sorry. Here, let me just do it out of frame. How's that? Okay, so let me show you what I did get started on this. And I'm working on an even weave. And I started in the middle. Isn't that beautiful? I'm using all the called for flosses, cottons on this. And it's like I said, it's an even weave. And I just love it. It's like an ivory color. So I'm going to be picking that up probably before June, like maybe April. So what other whips that are languishing that I need to get back to? And feel free to comment if you want me to get back to these. Here's one that I love, and it's actually one my husband got really excited about. He doesn't think about it, but when I show him something, he's like, yeah, that's really cool, or yeah, that's really pretty. So I think he appreciates it. This is the primitive hair, the 6 wives of Henry VIII. And I know the royal family is in the news these days, so how topical. I didn't do, it's a 40 count, and I started it back before I did a lot of 40 count. So I think and it's all DMC. So I think it'll be easier for me to get back to it, because I remember at the time thinking, oh, these little squares are so teeny tiny. So that's as far as I've gotten. You know, I think I'm gonna put this in my active rotation. Can you? There we go. The Tudas. And this one, this is the last one. And this one, I'm talking to you, Julie. Julie, Kansas City girl in a Colorado world. We started Snooty Parrots, I don't even know when, a couple years ago, as a stitch along. Okay, I'm stealing this from Nikki. Oh gosh, I keep moving the table, sorry. From Nikki Noodles, an Aussie stitcher who is brilliant. Because y'all, you Australians and UK people use the word brilliant and keen. I love it, and I'm going to start incorporating those words into my vocabulary. She's a brilliant stitcher, and I'm keen on watching her. And she said instead of a stitch along, she's calling them start alongs. And I asked her if I could steal it, and she said yes. So this is a start along I did with Julie, and this was before my silk obsession, my inclination towards silks, my preference for silks. I'm not going to say what I said in the last video, because apparently YouTube doesn't like the word that I use to describe myself in terms of my predilection for using silks. I'm a silk enthusiast. But this is before I became a silk enthusiast. So this is DMC. I did this in DMC, or I am doing this in DMC. Or am I? No. I know it's cotton. Some of it's DMC, some of it is sampler threads. Here, why don't I just show ya? I'll just give ya a look-see-loo here. Aren't these pretty? Imagine in silk. Woo. No, these are gorgeous. And this is as far as I got. Again, I was relatively new to the 40 count, which is funny because my eyes were younger then, but my stitching abilities were not as mature. Or as Colleen would say, I wasn't as fancy. I wasn't as fancy a stitcher. So I think getting back to this will be a pleasure. And maybe I put it down because the 40 count was, I want to make sure. Oh yeah, I got to pick this up. We're going to get a lot of snow, and I'm going to get a lot of stitching this week. This looks blown out. I'm going to get a lot of stitching done this weekend, and this is on my list. What do you say, Julie? Oh, oh, yes. Okay, that's it. Snooty Parrots, A Quaker's Welcome, and Nevermore. Those three are going to be on my rotation in the next week. And you can hold me to it. All right, so that's kind of all I wanted to show you as far as what's actively going on in my stitchy world. Now I wanted to show you some of my finished objects, my FFOs. And I'm stealing this from Julie because she last night put a video up and she showed some of her FFOs that were done in 2020. And I'm going to do that too. I'm not going to do an FFO parade or anything because I think that'll be very long and very work intensive for me. And, you know, it's all about me. So I'm going to show you some of the things that I finished, and I can't really tell you when I finished them, but it's probably been within the last 2 years or so. And I framed them myself, and you'll be able to see that I framed them myself. I have gotten better. There's some I'm going to show you in future episodes that are better framed. This is Strawberry Fields by Blackbird Design. And you can see I have way too much up top. So someday I might redo it, put a ribbon bow there, I don't know. It's in the called for fancy floss. It's 1/1 on 28 count. Looks like linen, not an even weave. See, Beatles, Strawberry Fields. We actually did the Beatles bus tour, which was so tacky and hokey, but so fun. You have to do it. They take you all around in Liverpool and you see Strawberry Fields, you see where they lived and where they partied, and oh, it was great. It was a bunch of Beatles fanatics on this tour. So that's Strawberry Fields. I want to say I finished that at least 2 years ago. Of course, I don't date anything. You know, why? That would make too much sense. Just so you know, and this is for anybody who's a Beatles fan, not just Darcy, but Blackbird Designs, they have a whole series on the Beatles. They have Strawberry Fields, I'm going to leave something out, Long and Winding Road. If you want more information about it, just Google Blackbird Design Beatles, and I think they'll pop up. In a future video, I'll pull I have all the charts. I'll pull the charts and show them to you, but they're awesome, and I do plan on stitching all of them at some point. Okay, Strawberry Fields. And I also told y'all, excuse me, I'm thirsty, that I am known as Bird Stitcher, was known as Bird Stitcher on YouTube, and that channel still exists if you want to go look at the videos. For some reason, I'm not smart enough to figure how to post videos to that account anymore. I don't know what settings are required. I don't have a laptop. I use my iPhone and my iPad, and I'm just not smart enough to figure it out. So anyway, all that to say is I named myself that because I liked stitching birds. But of course, getting onto Flosstube and seeing what everybody else is stitching, you're like all over the place, right? But I want to show you some of the birds that got me started. It was Beth Twist's fault, Heartstring Samplery. She has a series of bird patterns out there. And I got hooked on some of those charts that I stitched. This is what, and I did share this in my old videos. This is Western Tanager, and it's the male and the female. I did the called for, excuse me, fancy floss. It's a linen, my guess would be 32. It's 2/2. So my guess is a 32 or maybe a 36. And here's the thing. I stitched Tanager first. No, that's a lie. I stitched Western and I wasn't paying attention, or someone was talking to me, I was into a movie. I put 2 R's in Western. And I'm too lazy to rip things out. I will do it if I have to, if it will make a big difference in the design, but I didn't. So I added an R to Tanager to even it out, so it made it look like I was saying Western Tanager. Really, who's looking at the words anyway? It's the birds, right? It's all about the birds. And the next one I did, and I did spell this one correctly. Oh, sorry about the table. Here's my Western Scrub Jay. Isn't he pretty? Oh! And I found this frame at Michael's, and I thought, it's just perfect. Perfect frame for this. And I thought I did okay on the framing. I mean, I'm not fishing for compliments. I noticed in my last video I did this, like my hair's long. It should be like this. I did have longer hair that I flicked. I think it's a pretty good job framing, if I do say so myself. And I have these up here in my office, my home office / craft room. And here's one I did. Those are both by Beth Twist, Heartstring Samplery. Excuse me, my nose is running. I get allergies. My nose runs. Okay, this is by Willow Hill Samplings. Now I'm going to say what Brenda and Laura have said. I don't do the drop-down menu. It's enough time to get all this together to do my Flosstube and to wait for a time when my husband's not here and yada, yada, yada. So I will explicitly say, you know, who the designer is, who the Flosstuber is. I'll even try and spell it out if it's a little, you know, confusing. But please reach out to me on Instagram or put a comment or send me an email if there's any information you need. To be honest, I enjoy the one-on-one contact, so there's a little bit of selfishness in this, but also putting links in the download menu is just too time consuming. So yeah, I don't want to be a jerk about it, but it's just too much time. And so just reach out to me, either Instagram, email, or comment on YouTube. This is Willow Hill Samplings design, and it's called Autumn Alphabet. And there's a cat, and the cat is a Hamilton cat, because that's the only kind of cat I stitch. Isn't that cute? And I keep this is down in our family room on a little, you know, frame that you can get at Michael's or Joann's. Yeah, I think it's cute. Called for. Well, everything was called for except the cat, you know, because I did the little tuxedo cat. So those are my finished objects for stitching that I wanted to share. I'm going to share haul, which is really short because I'm waiting for a boatload to come in after Needlework Expo. I will share them as I receive them, but I'm just really scared to see what the bills are going to be, how much I spent, because I was like, this is me on Instagram ordering. I'll take that. I'll take that. Calling. Yeah, Barbara, I'll take that. I'll take this chart. Oh yeah, throw in the silks. It's gonna be scary. So I haven't really bought a lot because I'm waiting for that big invoices to come. But I got these from Amazon. They are smart and cool. That's what it says here. They're smart and they're cool. Magnetic silicone ties. They're smart and cool. Silicone ties. These are great. And everybody has seen them, I'm sure, because Pam and Steph, I think, started talking about these. Now, the new ones I got are shorter than I thought, but I think they'll work fine because they're a bunch of different brands. And this is what you use do I have something? You hook your fabric around your if you use a Q-snap. Even if you stitch in hand though, I would think you can use these to roll up the fabric and keep it out of the way. I ordered these a while ago and these are a little longer. So my recommendation when shopping on Amazon is to look at the measurements to see, you know, how long they are, to make sure, because they come in a bunch of different sizes, and to see which size you want. They also make great needle minders, but you still need to buy needle minders, especially from Colleen. Rebel Stitcher, I think is the name of her shop for needle minders. Again, contact me or look on Instagram. I've tagged her a bunch of times, and you'll be able to find her. Okay, so I got more of those because I keep buying them and I don't know where they go. They're probably in all my different project bags. And my second and last piece of haul are these Needlepoint Silk hanks for Fat Quarter Shop monthly NPI club. January I got blues, and this is the February. And even with all the ice and snowstorms, I got these the first week of March. So without weather, you get them at the end of the month. So March should be coming the last week of March, and I think they're green. Yes, and yeah, for someone who is a silk enthusiast like me, this is a great club to join. And that's it for haul. And last thing I wanted to show, I'm not just a cross stitcher. Well, that's really all I've been doing lately. But I also knit, and I went through a quilting phase. So I thought it'd be fun because there are a lot of us on here who are multi-craftual. We do a lot of crafts. So I wanted to show you some of my other projects. It's not going to be a big part of this at this point unless I get back into something, because you know how that goes. The mood strikes you and you just get, I think Becca of Sambry Stitches is now into needle wool applique. She's followed down that rabbit hole. Her Flosstube is Sambry, S-A-M-B-R-I-E Stitches, or Stitcher. You can find her on Instagram and on Flosstube, YouTube. Okay, so this is a sweater I made. And I love it. It's beautiful. And if I live in the tundra, I would wear this all the time. I would wear it all the time. It's 100% wool. It's just a great sweater, and I love the colors. I can't remember the name. If any of you are knitters and you want the name of the pattern, I certainly can track it down and get it to you. But I just wanted to show this as a beautiful sweater. And here's the thing about knitting, right? I love it. It's very soothing, kind of yoga-like cross stitch. But when you have hot flashes, you don't want to wear sweaters. Just a little hint. And so I haven't really been wearing too many sweaters these past few years, if you know what I mean. If I went outdoors in the cold weather, I'd wear it all the time. But being inside, my sweaters just kind of sit. But I love them, and I'm glad I made it. And if I ever do go hiking in the snow, I will wear it. So there you go. And then also I want to show you a quilt wall hanging that I had to take down when I got Hamilton. And you'll see why. It's a dog! I'm gonna gift this to my son and daughter-in-law. It's the least I could do since I talked about my son's poop. Don't you think? It was a fun applique kit that I did, oh gosh, 17 years ago or so. And we used to have dogs. And no, we didn't just get rid of them. They died of old age. But yeah, I just cannot have a dog hanging in my house with Hamilton. She is an only pet. They told us at the shelter she does not get along with other animals, be they cat or dog. And I have a grand dog, Lucy, that my son and daughter-in-law love, and I think they can hang this in their house. So that was from my quilting days. So that's it. There's one more plan I wanted to talk to you about, but I have to take a sip. One thing I've discovered, well, a lot of things I've discovered, is the variety of stitching that we get to see on Flosstube. Oh, if you notice from my projects, you won't see any full coverage, right? Confetti stitching scares me. All that Darcy does, the Heaven and Earth design. Julie does full coverage. My friend Jenny, she is the Unstoppable Stitcher on Instagram. She does full coverage pieces. A lot of you do full coverage pieces. And they scare me, but I love them. Even though I am sort of inclined to do the fancy lady, excuse me, I hope I'll be able to edit these burps out. I'm going to try a full coverage piece. Colleen, Ms. Moon Pie Fry, says that I can do it without gritting the fabric. Okay. So I'm going to try it. And I am going to try it on a project that a chart that I just bought a couple days ago at the recommendation of Colleen, because she's been working on it and it's in her March Madness and it's made it to the final 4. I don't have the chart printed here because I have to go to the office to print it. I'm going to try and insert a picture of it here while I'm talking to you. It is Monkey Girl on a Toilet. Because if you're going to do full coverage, why not do a girl monkey on a toilet? I thought nothing would display the variety of my interests and the variety of my sensibilities than, you know, having fancy lady samplers like Mary Clayton upside down, right? Which is absolutely beautiful. And people that will come to my house will see it and think, what a sophisticated lady you are. Yes. But then when they go to the bathroom, they will be inspired by Girl Monkey on the Toilet. That's the plan, to hang her in my bathroom. She's adorable. So I'm going to start her on April 1st, because what better day to start Monkey Girl on a Toilet than April 1st. I have to go through my DMC to see what I have so that I can buy what I don't have. And I need to get Ada fabric, or check my Ada stash and see if I have it big enough, because I don't want to make her with short legs like Colleen is doing. So that'll be fun. Because you know what? This is fun, right? It's fun to see what everybody else is doing. I have discovered floss tubers that are stitching things that I never in a million years would think to stitch. And then I think, well, why not? It looks like fun. Now, if the confetti drives me crazy and I have to grit it, I will do that. But I don't want to do the background, and Colleen's not doing the background. She's just doing the monkey and the toilet. And if I have gritted fabric, that's going to be a problem. Then I'd have to do the whole background. So it's going to be an experiment. We're going to do this, you know, I will be honest. I will disclose to you if I have a fail. If I need suggestions, encouragement, I will ask. But if you have any tips for me, if you do full coverage pieces and you have any tips for me on how to do it, if you, what's the term, park, or you do the confetti, however you do it, I am all ears, because I am a full coverage virgin. and I want to learn. Teach me the ways of the full coverage. That about wraps it up, folks. Thank you for sticking with me. I can't tell you how much fun I have sharing everything with you, my projects, and listening to your comments and your feedback. I hope this video, I showed the actual projects better so you could see them. If you have a request of something that you want to see that I didn't show well in the last video, just give me a comment, let me know. I'll be happy to show it next time. I'll probably be back in 2 weeks, or when my husband goes to the grocery store. Because I just can't do it while he's here. It turns out the last time he thought I was on a business call. He had no idea I was recording a Flosstube because his hearing is really bad. And I'm not making fun of people getting old and losing their hearing because, as I have said, I have hearing aids. See? Public service announcement. Losing your hearing because of age, being exposed to loud noises, whatever it is, there is help for us. And that's called hearing aids. And I hope our generation is a lot better because I know, like my mother-in-law was just refusing to get hearing aids. There was some kind of pride associated with it. And to me, it's just like wearing glasses, right? I need hearing aids. I couldn't hear. Anyway, he couldn't hear what I was saying. And he they tested his hearing. He doesn't need hearing aids. So it's just, he can just hear. So, but the fact that he is here means I feel like I'm always looking, and having the freedom of the whole house to myself has been a lot better for recording purposes. So I hope you all have a wonderful couple of weeks. Go check out March Madness for all the people who are participating. They're getting down to their final 4 brackets, and you can go to Instagram and vote for which projects move on. I just love seeing what everybody's working on and going and voting and picking which project I think they should finish. And then they'll have 2 weeks to work on it, and you can see if they get a finish from it. It's a great idea. Steel City Stitchers came up with it. They have a Flosstube. So it's all fun, all of it. And I don't know how to end this. Peace out, man. Bye.